Macadine family, and listening audience. I'm Camille Shabazz of Macadine University. Welcome to this brief talk. I just want to go into my subject about when she has diarrhea of the mouth. Now, this is a common phrase or saying that a lot of people laugh at, but it's a common disorder when it comes to the American woman who says so many unpleasant things at the wrong time, causing a lot of dismay and eventually even violence and death. But when you look at diarrhea of the mouth, it's not like Tourette's syndrome, where there's involuntary speeches and things being said where someone doesn't have control over it. No, those individuals who suffer from diarrhea of the mouth, what they say is intended to hurt. But once again, whenever they say what they say, it's at a barbecue, at some family gathering, at some significant outing, or even during a discussion where the diarrhea just comes out, where it causes all types of confusion and damage to the listeners, and once again, leading to either violence or death. Now, a lot of people think that infidelity or finances is the reason for domestic violence. But in all my consultations, and I've consulted hundreds of men, as well as my personal experiences, at the root of most domestic violence is this woman's diarrhetic mouth. Always running it at the wrong time and saying the wrong shit and causing, once again, harm to herself and to others, leading to either jail or death. Now, how do you deal with a woman who has diarrhea of the mouth? Well, first and foremost, if she doesn't recognize that she has a problem with her tongue, is not making a genuine effort to correct that defect of character, the best thing for you to do is to leave her alone. Because somewhere down the line, everyone has what they call a cracking point and a boiling point. And you don't ever want to make yourself or allow yourself to go to that level. Now, back in the day, starting in Scotland in the 1700s, they had a device called the scold's bridle that they would put on the face, and had an apparatus that went in the mouth of the woman who was suffering from diarrhea of the mouth. Sometimes they would put her on the back of a dung cart and have musicians behind her while she sat in the dung and went all around the town with that scold's bridle on. But we're out of that day and time. And for you to go off the hook and put your hands on one of these sisters or do harm to them would do more harm to yourself. So the best solution when dealing with a woman who has diarrhea of the mouth is to leave her the hell alone. Or otherwise you might suffer some serious consequences that none of us can afford to handle or undertake. Because many years ago I was in that situation. And men, you lose. And besides, you don't want to go down the path of life with someone who's going to make you unhappy and eventually emotionally imbalanced. I recall last year when Brian Landry and Gabby Petito was on this countrywide tour. And you could see, based on one time when they were pulled over by the police, that this woman had a problem with her mouth. And she probably was physically violent as well on Brian Landry. And when the police pulled them over this one time, instead of separating them and giving them time to be alone and to simmer down, they allowed them to stay with each other, and eventually he murdered her and then ended up killing himself. We're in a day and time that is of such a critical nature where everybody's on edge. And if you're not balanced, if you're not in the right mind state and balanced mentally and emotionally, every one of us are subject to potentially going off the deep end. So it's always proper and wise to make sure you're in your right state of mind and always in a state of balance, and to surround yourself, loved ones or otherwise, with people who are likewise. So on that note, when you're around someone who has diarrhea of the mouth, as they say, loose lips sink ships, and it will sink your home, it will sink everything that you have of value if you do not stay afloat and keep yourself in a balanced state of mind, and once again, surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Thank you for listening. More later, in peace.